Hi Noteboard Gamers, and welcome back to Noteboard Gaming. I'm your host, I'm Mark. Now in today's video, I'm going to be unboxing this right here. And this is a copy of Apex Legends, the board game from Glass Canon Studios. I don't have everything for it. This is a review copy that's sent through. Got the base game, I have the Loba expansion, I have the Diaramas 1 to 6, and I also have the solo, of course, and co-op expansion for it as well. So yeah, this came to crowdfunding, I want to say about over 2 years ago, about two and a bit years ago. I've only played it once. That was at UK Games Expo a couple of years ago. So that was, yeah, back in 2023. I had a really good 4-player game a couple of years ago, but I've not played it since, so I'm really looking forward to diving into this. Now, before we just dive into the game, I'll take you down to the table to show it. It will be a little bit of a kind of cack-handed opening. You see, I've got an injury. A cat got into my house on Sunday, and I have 2 dogs, and as I was rescuing the cat and taking it to the front door, as well as scratching me a few times, just as I got to the front door, it chewed down on my finger. So yeah, I'll try and do the unboxing as good as I can with a gnarled up finger. My hand's quite painful and some infection in there. I am on antibiotics. I've been to the hospital and everything. I had tetanus shots, so don't worry about that. But yeah, so I do apologise if this bandage gets in the way. So yeah, obviously Apex Legends, a big video game. I think, you know, a lot of people have played the video game. I certainly did play it a lot when it first came out. And this is a first-person shoot-'em-up board game. And, you know, in the base game, there's no solo or cooperative in the base game. It's team-based, so you're 2 versus 2 or 3 versus T, but of course, 3 versus 3, should I say. But of course, with the solo and co-op mode, we can play cooperative and play solo as well. So, without much further ado, I'll drop this down onto the table, show you what you get in all these wonderful packages, and yeah, and hopefully you'll be excited by what you see inside. Okay, so here, as I say, is everything they've sent me through. I have the base game board game, I have the solo and co-op expansion, I have the Loba expansion, and also Diaramas 1 to 6. I think there's at least maybe 1 or 2 expansions I've not had. There's, I think there's something called Board 1, and also there's the big box and a playmat, which they haven't sent through. So it is quite a big and chunky box. As you can see from my handspans there, it's kind of about 1.5 handspans across, and same in depth as well. Well, not quite the same, but it's still big and chunky in depth, just under a handspan of my hands in depth there. Everything else other than the base game is still in shrink wrap. I did open this so I could start reading the rule books earlier. This is the only thing that I have opened. So let's have a look at the back of the box here. Okay, so we have the suggested fully 3D looking setup here with the buildings and the various minis, etc., and everything that's going on as you would expect in Apex Legends, basically. Unpredictable in more ways than one, the Apex Legends blood sport spans multiple worlds and draws scores of participants willing to join the fray in pursuit of fame, glory, and a lucrative career. With the stakes as high as they get, it all comes at a very real risk of serious physical injury, or more commonly, death. Okay, it says here it's a highly competitive miniatures game for 2 to 6 players. I say we do have the solo and co-op expansion as well. You choose your legend, you drop into the action, you gear up, you assemble your squad, and you change it up basically. And there we go. You can see a game in 4-player game in full flow there. So once again, we'll flip over. It tells you, I think, or shows you, should I say, on the side there, exactly what you get in the box. 6 Legend miniatures, 15 Legend Effect miniatures, 4 ring border miniatures, map tiles, canyon tiles, buildings, 3D maps, game boards, loads of stuff, and the 6 Legends that come in the base game. So there we go. That's kind of the main box. What I'll do is, as I say, in kind of a slightly cack-handed way. Here we go. I'll get this off there. So I've not seen anything other than the rule books in this box. I'm going to put the lid down somewhere. Obviously, you know, I've seen the rule book, and that's the only thing of this box that I've seen. So the rule book is quite chunky and it's quite thick. So we can see it's some kind of 45 pages long. Lots of detail here from what I've been reading so far, and this is literally the page that I've got to as well. From what I've been reading so far, lots of detail, lots of pictures, lots of telling you what to do. Some people have said it's a little bit too in-depth, the rule book, a little bit too prescriptive, but who knows, you know, I like a prescriptive rule book. So my aim is to kind of finish reading this at some point tonight, and then move on from there in terms of at least playing my first game. I think I played my first game kind of two-handed and then move on from there. So here we have the match settings. So if you go through the rule book, it tells you how to set up for your first game and you follow what's in the rule book. But then we have the match settings because there are all sorts of different matches that you can have. There are, here we go, Battle Royale, Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, Assassination, and Boss Mode. Bear in mind this is a base game, which is for 2 to 4 players, yeah? So it gives you all the various kind of setups that you've got as you go through there, what the objectives are for each particular one, what a Capture the Flag is, how you would set it up, the various parts of it, the loadout, the map, and the final encounter, which is effectively the game itself. The final encounter, you would play up to 8 rounds until you achieve kind of the objectives or you win the game. So you can see there's lots of different match setups that you can go for on this. It gives you how you would set the buildings up as well for the various maps. But bear in mind, it's kind of modular. You could end up making your own map as well. Okay, here we go. Instructions on how to pack everything away into the base box. Okay, and we can see some of the components that are there as well, and what to do, how to erect the buildings and the various standees that you get in the game as well. So it shows you how to put the buildings together and how you can put various things on, and also the dials itself. So that's going to be handy. Little cheat sheet here. Yeah, we've got the map objects. So it tells you, what everything is. And these are things called tags, okay? So those tags are important. They're kind of the identifiers as you go through the game itself. And we've got tag descriptions. There we go. I probably should have shown you this side first. I've known about it. Yeah, it tells you what all the various tags are and what they mean and what they're the keywords, essentially, the tags. Yeah, they're keywords on various things. So we have a number of punch boards. The game has got quite a few tokens in it in terms of gear and weaponry, etc. So you can see the thickness of the punch board there. Is that coming into focus for everybody? Yeah. Relatively thick, that, yeah. So we got their various gear, and I think these are kind of some of your starting tokens down here. Again, gear is, the grey is, so you have common, which is grey. You have, going through 4 different stages, obviously common, and then whatever, then epic and legendary, basically, and the yellow ones are legendary. So yeah, various drops as well, because there are supply drops throughout there. Other tokens, I don't know what they are. These are for, I think, for various weapons, and I think these are tokens that you would, if you have an effect, an ongoing effect, or an effect that lasts for a certain number of turns in the game, or a certain number of rounds in the game, you would put those on there. Okay. So here we have, these are some standees. You can see these going together here. Don't know what these are for up here. These are how you define who's going, I think, on the board. You have a red team and a blue team, same with those. This is your starting area. It's where you're kind of going to choose to start from. That represents kind of the board itself, and you'll put tokens here at the beginning of the game. Then you get to choose in alternating order about who's going to start on which side of the board and which tokens are going to pick up, etc. We have some fences, I believe, and barricades here. So we can see down here, these are some of the fences and barricades that you can build, and various other bits. I don't know what they are. Yeah, we have some locks down here. Again, some fences and barricades and some other tokens. Some terrain, and I think these are supply drops, these here. So you'd put those together and make the supply drops. These are your kind of respawn areas, I believe. Same on those. So there's a number of little punch boards on there. Then we have the map tiles themselves. Okay, so let's have a look at these. So this is how you're going to create your maps, basically. You can see they've got a grid on there, and you're going to follow the instructions in the match setup about where to put things on the grid, be that a building, be that a fence, be that a supply drop, or weapons cache, etc. And you can see there are 4 of those, which are eventually going to make up your play area. So then we go under here. What do we have here? This is kind of the round board, if you like. So your round tracker is going to go along there, and this is how you're going to take your turns. You alternate red and blue, red and blue. Red will always start. I believe red will always start. And this is things like, I believe this is for when the edges close in on you here. So when that happens, you're going to do certain cards, or it could be something else, maybe. And as you can see, it goes up to 8 rounds. Okay, so we'll put that to one side. Obviously, we've got the dials here. We've got the health dials, etc. So they're going to need putting together, which is always fun. And then we have our first tray of some plastic. Okay, so what do we have in here? We have this kind of, is it a protection shield that one of them gets to use? And I don't know if that's going to show too well on camera, but it's got like little hexagons on there, basically. So that is one of the players, or one of the legends' kind of specific ability. We have some smoke, I believe this is, for things like smoke bombs, etc. There's 2 of those. Here we have the ring markers for the miniatures, and as you can see, there are 3 of each in there. Yeah, 3 of each, so red and blue, obviously, for whichever legends that you're using. Look at these. This is for one of the legends' specific abilities. I think you would put one of the cards I showed you would go in there, and that kind of dictates what the area is going to be, the area of attack, I suppose, from there. Oh, wow, okay. So we have this. Don't know what that is. But yeah, miniatures look pretty good, tell you the truth. We also have, again, another one for a particular legend's either ability or a weapon. It's a missile that's going to there. Again, you would put a card in that tile and do that. And here we have, there's 4 of these, there's one still in the box there. But these are going to represent the ring closing in. If you played the board game, play the video game, you know that eventually it gets closer and closer, and tries to push everybody together. Probably everybody's played Fortnite. Similar thing on that. This ring is going to close. The board game simulates that by having 4 of those, which are going to close over time. So let's have a look at some of the miniatures then. We have this guy. Okay. So here we go. We can see this guy has got a bit of red, like a red cape or something on the back of there. Yeah, I mean, God, I get so many games with miniatures that I used to paint my miniatures. I really wish I could go back to painting miniatures again. I wish I had the time for that. But you can see that's yeah, I think the quality is pretty good on that. It depends. I suppose your preference as a miniatures painter is going to dictate as to whether you like the quality. This is some kind of bot on there. There we go. I mean, I think the worst miniatures I've ever seen. I like these miniatures, but the worst, I hate the Gloomhaven miniatures. Like, really hate the Gloomhaven miniatures. I think they're ugly as all sin. And here we go. Here's a double wielding character. And I'm sure there's people out there going to be shouting at me saying, that's such and so, and that's such and so. I'm sorry, I don't know the names. It's a while back since I played Apex Legends, let's put it that way. Yeah. Here we go, another one. We'll not go through every single miniature because I think that would be very time consuming, and I don't know how much value you'd get from it. And the final kind of main miniature here is this guy with a shield. Look at this, okay? There we go. Sorry about my finger getting in the way. I keep trying to keep it out of the way. Yeah, guy with a shield there. Perfect. Okay, so that's those miniatures. We have this thing here. There's a number of these. Don't know what these are. These are like birds on top of this plastic pieces of plastic here, and there's a number of those. Then we have, God, very thin miniature. Yeah, some kind of radio tower maybe. Looks like a radio mast. We have something here. Boom, boom, boom. I can't even get it out. Here we go. Fantastic. Perfect. So we have a kind of bot thing here. You can see it's got a little glass stand on there, some kind of bot thing. Okay. And then we have a couple of these as well, which look like some form of portal, I think, maybe. It's a nice red colour. So that's kind of tray number 1 there. Let's lift that off and see what else we get in here. So the next thing is we've got these bags, and this is where some of the items are going to go. You can see they're coloured for purple for legendary, blue for, I can't remember what blue is, grey for common, etc. And then there's another bag there. So these are nice kind of, God, they feel like velvet type material then basically. Then what's this? Oh, we have player aids. Okay, so this is good, all right. So, I love the player aid. I really don't like it when games don't come with player aids. So we have player aids here. And then we also have the names of the characters that come with it. So the miniatures that you see earlier, the names you're shouting out. Yeah, we have Gibraltar, the one with the shield. We have Wraith. We have Bangalore. Bloodhound, who's Recon. Difficulty of 1 there. Tells you what components you need to put with them as well. Pathfinder, who's a skirmisher. Lifeline. There we go. Oh, Lifeline's a little booklet, and Lifeline's the last one there. Little booklet, so it must be a little bit more complex. 1.5 complexity. Tells you what components you need with it. Tells you a bit about kind of how they play, etc. Their support role. Some objective tags. There we go. That's a little drone thing. It's a heal drone, and that's the other one. It's a care package. What feat cards they come with, what ability cards, what their legend setup is, and those are the characters that come with the game, along with, as I mentioned, these at least double-sided player aids. I do like a player aid. Play so many games that I forget rules, and therefore player aids are absolutely essential. We have some more map tiles here, so this will be a way of adding some variety into the maps. These look like river tiles, etc. And some smaller ones just there of the same thing. So I'll just put those back. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. And then we'll lift that lid off. Oh, there's something else here. Didn't see this. Oh, these are weapons cards. Some form of weapons cards here, I think. Yeah, let's look at these. Okay. Yeah. So we have, okay, they are double-sided. We can see here we've got the Peacekeeper and the P2020, and on the other side we've got the Devotion LMG and the M600 Spitfire, Prowler Burst POW, Mozambique Shotgun, Wingman, Triple Take, Alternator SMG, Hemlock Burst Air. Okay, so lots and lots of weapons to choose from. You can see they've got various upgrade slots as well, so you can make your weapons even more powerful. Okay, so that's going to be really useful as the game progresses. You know, key part obviously of the video game is going around collecting those crates and power-ups and trying to get your legend into the best position possible. Okay, right here we have, I believe these are, oh no, these are fences, right? Okay, so these are some fences. You're going to put these out along the map, or maybe and they're going to create kind of obstacles. Because it's a 3D map, you have levels. Level 0 is the map. Anything this height is level 1, anything above that is level 2, etc. So various fences there. This is I believe the board that you put together when you're kind of working out various cards on it in terms of, you know, kind of doing combat, etc. and what happens there. Apex Legends banners as well. Fantastic. These trays will obviously be filling with other things as well at the same time. Okay. What are these? Don't know what these are at all in any way, shape or form, but they've got a 70 limit thing on there and some various places where you're going to put tokens. There it looks to be 8 of those, I think, 2, 4, 6 of those, should I say. Here are the player boards. So the player boards aren't asymmetrical, it's the legends that are asymmetrical. Okay, so you have your gear slots up here, and then you have your 8 backpack slots here as well. I think this is like ammo. Yeah, this is ammo for your 2 weapons here. You'll pick up gear tokens and backpack tokens and etc. and you can put them in here. But of course, if you're then full or you don't want one, you drop them, and anybody else going onto that space on the map can actually pick those up. The top 3 is your kind of your gear, if you like. So your helmet, your body armor, and your shield, and then this is where you'll pick up the general items and put you there. You can see there's a little indentation there as well, because there's a screen, if you're playing multiplayer, that you're going to put on there to stop people, your competitors, knowing what you've got in your backpack. And there are 6, so you can play 3 versus 3 in this as well, and that, you know, I can only imagine that's going to be an absolute riot once everybody's across the rules. It's going to be great to get kind of 6 people together to play a massive game of Apex Legends. Okay. Then we got the buildings themselves. So I'm not going to start erecting the buildings just now, because as you can see, they're all still kind of down there. I think what's going to happen when I erect the buildings, I'm going to have to find a way of storing them without breaking them down. I don't want to be in a position where I'm putting them up and breaking them down each and every time. But effectively, they are kind of something that makes that shape, and then something that will make a box shape that goes in and creates a ceiling, and that's how the buildings are created on there. But as there are videos online of people that have been playing it, etc., and certainly when it comes to my solo review that I'll be doing, then you'll see the buildings erected at that point. These are the play screens I spoke about, which go on the player mats to stop people seeing what you've got. a number of cards. I think these are the Legends cards. Yes, they are, basically. So let's, again, I'm not going to go through all of these. I'll just show you a few of these, and we'll see kind of what is on these cards. It might not make a massive amount of sense to anybody at this stage until you've actually played the game, but at least we'll get to see kind of what's on the cards. If I can open this packet, so just bear with me a second. There we go. I hate it when these packets have got that gold strip on there and the gold strip never works. So let's choose a legend. I don't know. This one, okay, which I think was called, it could be Gibraltar. I don't know. Don't know off the top of my head. Okay, so these are your kind of, I think they're your feat cards, basically. And you're going to run through this deck or go through this deck as you're playing the game. So we have Heal Up, which is a free action. Each legend from your squad in the Dome of Protection, that was the blue kind of sphere thing that we saw, may use a consumable. It's also got Rush, Move 1, and +1 MP. I think you can discard your feat cards without doing the action on them to actually move to gain a free action as a move. We've got In and Out free action. If you're in the Dome of Protection zone, you ignore its effect during this activation. You may use an item. Keep Out free action. Push all adjacent enemies up to 3 spaces. No, maybe impact, I don't know. Damage on collision. If you push at least one enemy, you may perform a shoot action. So you're pushing a pang. Excellent, I like it. Charge, special action, 1 action point. Move 2, then you may push an adjacent enemy 1 space away. So it's going to create space for you. If there's no collision, relocate to the space the enemy was pushed from. So you kind of get into their space. Bastion, it's a reaction, this. So if you get fired on, you can use this card at that particular point, I believe. Squad, and before firing. If you are the target, prevent 8 damage, or 8, whatever that is. If you're adjacent to the target, swap places with them. You become the target and prevent 8 damage. So that gives you a human shield or a shield ability. There we go, next card is called Shield. This target, if you are an adjacent squad mate is the target prevents 3 from each hit. Each aim card with a miss icon on it, regardless of the target position. Each aim card with that on it is a miss regardless of the target's position. I get it. Gun Shield, decrease the whatever of the shooter's weapon by 10 and prevent 10. Gun Shield again there, and that's it. So those are the feat cards, and there are a number of those for each of the legends. We can see them all just here. Sorry, my camera's having a bit of a problem with the light in here today, but you can see them all just there. Okay, while we're still on the base box at the moment, you can see there's a lot of stuff in here. This is, I believe, the start tile. So with this is kind of, what's it called, start tile or entry tile, something like that. As I mentioned earlier, oh no, this isn't. This is the shield coming in. So these are shield cards, and it tells you based on where they are. So that's going to be that alignment because that's down there. How much they're going to come down. So the top one's going to come down 2. The left one's going to come in 2. The bottom and right. So it gives you kind of a mix on how the ring is going to close in on the map. If you get caught outside the ring, then you're going to start taking damage and health as defined by kind of the where you are on the board, I believe. Sorry, where you're on the round board. There's some little blue crystals there. Nothing really massive to worry about on that. And some red cubes. Well, okay. I'd have thought they would have been like plastic cubes. They're the only wooden thing I think in the game. Everything else is plastic. Oh, okay, fine. They're just for the dials themselves. We have some more cards here. So what are these? Oh, these are drop cards, I believe, yeah. So this is when you go to one of the drop things. There we go. Try and open it. God, I hate those little gold tabs. Here we go. Right, so these are when you go to the equipment drops, whatever they're called, I think, and you are going to draw a card or a number of cards from this, and it's going to give you some particular things. So let's have a look on the back. So for example, yeah, there we go. We got the drop things there. That's going to give you 2 epic tokens and 2 weapon tokens, and it says keep 1 weapon and discard the other. Yeah, so you can see there are different configurations. Also, I think this is when you're shooting. Yes. you have to lay these out against that long whiteboard that I showed you, and it's going to determine your your accuracy. And the more you shoot, the more you're kind of zooming all over the place, and therefore the less accurate you get. And these are I do not know, and they are I do not know, but there's something to do with that miniature we saw at the beginning. Okay, these are weapon cards, right? Okay, so I don't know what those first things were, whether they were different types of weapon cards, etc. Those ones with the double on there either side, or whether they are kind of reference cards. I don't know, but these are the weapons cards. So when you get weapons, you're going to pick up random weapons throughout, and you are going to put these next to your player board. You can have up to 2 weapons. You can't have any more than 2 weapons, and of course, if you get rid of a weapon, you get to drop the token. So these are the various ones: Hemlock Burst Air, VK47 Flatline, Alternator SMG. Again, I'm not going to go through all these. Throwing Knives. Okay, fine. So various bits in here. Let's look at the back first, in fact, because that tells you it's not just weapon cards. So I wonder if these are... What are these here? So these are particular weapons. These are the Kraber 50 cal, the Mastiff shotgun, and the Rampage LMG. Then we have some grey ones here. Oh, these are the... Yeah, okay, fine. So the grey ones will be the common weapon drops, I bet, that you can get. So that's these here. And you can see they've got a grey background. Then we got that, and I don't know what that is. Then we got the blue ones. There we go. And then we got the red ones. So various weapons of various strengths in there. I'll put those back in the same order. Okay. And I think that is it for the base box. As I say, we've got the buildings and we've got the ceilings for them there. Let me put all this back in, then I'll show you what you get inside some of the expansion stuff. Okay, so now we have the dioramas here. Okay, so take your legends to the next level with this expansion. Introduces a set of plastic card holder dioramas for all 6 core box legends: Bangalore, Bloodhound, Gibraltar, Lifeline, Pathfinder, and Wraith. Not only do the legends look dazzling and add tremendous flair to your game room or display shelf, they also function as a card holder for the legend feat cards and provide a safe means of storage for legend and ability miniatures. Okay, so here we go. This is something is not open yet, so let's just get the knife on the cellophane and rip that up. So obviously, I'm still going to spend all the time kind of unboxing everything properly and putting it all together. But let's just open that box. And let's have a look. We'll not go through all the dioramas, but there are 6 in here. So yeah. So what would happen, I believe, is you're going to... Here we go. They're all in glass case. You can see them there. You like painting your stuff. That's great. We got space for the actual legend itself, then space for some of their special cards, because they're all different, so they'll all be legend specific, basically. And yeah, you would put your legends into the dioramas and do it that way. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A completely unnecessary expansion that some people will absolutely love and find it the best way of kind of keeping their legends out on display, and you know, there'll be some great paint jobs done on things like that. So I'd say not necessary in the slightest, but a fantastic addition for people that want to have it, because you know, you would get to, if you look at the picture on the back, you can see how they look there with the various bits in there, and the various legends, etc., that are on there. So they would look great as a display item. So that was the dioramas. Let's have a look at Loba now. So Loba is a character that was a Kickstarter exclusive, I believe. Yeah, so it's another legend you can use. So that now takes up to 7 legends. I don't know if there's more in some of the other expansions. I say they haven't sent me everything through. So I'm unsure of exactly what else there is in the that's available for people at this stage. I should imagine if the game's successful, then it'll keep going. Yeah, hunt down Nessies. The Nessie special features an add-on for game modes. Oh, okay. destroy plushes to claim a reward. Okay, fine. Other visuals, replace the cardboard heat shields and control points, yay, with highly detailed miniatures. So not only are you getting Loba, but you're getting some more plastic here, which will upgrade the aesthetics. Okay, so let's have a look at Loba. Look, there we go. So we've got a Loba shield there, specifically for Loba. We've got the expansion, it tells you what's in there. Loba Andrade, excuse my butchering of anybody's language there. It tells you what components are in here and the heat shields, etc. There's a miniature and a black market miniature. There's a diorama in there as well, some ability tokens. Got the special Nessie feature. So you get a Nessie miniature, spawn cards, rules modifications and additional rules for the Nessie miniature, and there's Loba's card. Okay, so let's have a look in here. We have the diorama, and we have Loba herself here. Okay, so let me show you Loba. Can't get my manky finger out of the way. There we go. Nice. For fans of the game, you'll remember Loba. And we've also got then the other miniature, which was called the what was this called for Loba? It was called a black market miniature. That's it. Okay, so that's nice. Plastic and crystal. I'm liking this trend towards kind of two-tone or two medium miniatures. Obviously we've got some in here, and certainly Andromeda's Edge in the deluxe all in, that did it very, very well as well. And yeah, here we have Loba's diorama, so you can see that there. So there we go. And this is how a diorama would look with stuff in there. So let's just put the black market miniature on. And there we go. We get this like wonderful scene. That would all go under glass. Under plastic as such. There we go. And you can see it's going to be a great way for people to display their models. Okay. Then we have some cards. We've got the Nessie cards in there. I think Loba's cards are in there. We have a Nessie miniature. Oh, look at cute Nessie there. Oh, cute Nessie. Perfect. And some tokens. And then we're lifting this up. And what do we have? Right, so these are some of the plastic miniatures that are going to replace some of the stuff in the main game as well, some of the cardboard stuff. So that's what you get with Loba there. So it's a whole new legend for you to play with, as well as various bits and bobs and other stuff for Loba, including the additional game modes and some of the stuff that kind of enhances the aesthetics of the game itself. Okay, last bit now is the bit which is going to allow me to play the game. We have the Apex Legends solo and co-op expansion. Okay, things are getting personal. This expansion introduces an option to play Apex Legends, the board game, in single player and cooperative gameplay modes for up to 2 players. Face off an automated version of the 6 core legends, the Automas, called the Automas, and see if you can stand the heat in both Battle Royale and Team Deathmatch modes. So it gives you two modes here, okay? Ultimate matchup and test your metal, solo and co-op. So let's have a look inside this then, yep. I think, you know, this is where they are now with it. God, we know the community is great, basically, for board games, and you know, somebody will come out with solo modes for everything else as well. So there's a little. Wow, that's quite thick. A 35-page. I'd say 35-page. I mean, this is like half page basically. So let's call it 17-page. Talks about kind of setting everything up, and I think what we need to do is going to be. Is it going to? Let's see. Game modes available for these. Rules for using Automas, again, change modes. Yeah, you've got to be familiar with the core rules first. Okay, it's not just going to drop you in there and let you start playing the game. So what do we have? We have those bloody double cards again as well, and I can't remember what they are. But oh, there we go. Weapon loadout cards. Okay, so these are weapon loadout cards. All right, so I wonder if these are your starting weapons. That's what those are. We've got some tokens. We have player raids, are they? Yes. Some solo player raids. Oh, thank the Lord. thank the Lord. You'd be surprised how many solo games don't come with a solo player aid, and yeah, it can be quite annoying. I was playing a game, I'm not going to mention it, a great game. Well, it was alright, it's quite a complex game, but it had no solo player aid, which was just absolutely annoying. And there we got the AI cards for, or the Automa cards for the 6 main legends. So obviously you can't play Loba as this, and I don't know if it's in the Loba expansion that you can play her. I didn't see any of those cards. We got some cards which I should imagine will be used for things like movement and actions, etc. Yes, this will be... Yeah, okay, so these are the AI players kind of card decks as well here, all right? So each of the Automas, the 6 main original characters, will be using those. Look, I am genuinely really looking forward to actually jumping into the solo. I am going to play it two-handed to start off with, so I'll be controlling 4 characters to start off with, just to get the rules down. I say we only played it once, and it was a long time ago, kind of 2 years ago. But I am looking forward to seeing how the solo stacks up as well. I do have people lined up to play multiplayer with me as well, but I want to play the first games on my own. So, there we go. That's everything I got for Apex Legends, the board game from Glass Canon Studios. And there we go. As I say, that's everything that Glass Canon sent me through for Apex Legends, the board game. Look, I am genuinely excited by this, because as much as I love a crunchy and deep Euro, I do like a bit of pew-pew from time to time as well, and, you know, some kind of adventure game or some dice rolling, and there's no dice in this, and something that offers a little bit, something a little bit different. So this is something I'm hopefully going to be playing this weekend. I am incapacitated, and I've got to go back to the hospital tomorrow. I'm kind of incapacitated, so punching stuff out, making those dials, building those buildings is going to be a little bit of an issue for me. But I'm going to try and start playing this this weekend. As I said, probably play two-handed to start off with, then move into the solo rules from there. I've got a multiplayer game lined up for next week as well, so I'm really looking forward to it, because I did enjoy the game that I had at UK Expo, say kind of UK Games Expo 2 years ago. I think the only concern I had at the time was that it was me and 3 guys I'd never met before, two teams of 2. Me and the guy in my team were kind of working well together. On the other side of the table, one of the guys in the team was an alpha gamer, so he wouldn't let his partner, his partner do anything before he had his say on what his partner should be doing. And when he was working everything out, he literally almost had to work out every move that could be done. Put his miniature here, pull it back, put it there, pull it back. And it became quite long. And this game needs to be, that really hurts. This game needs to be snappy and wild and kind of. Kind of frenetic, if you like. However, that was just one experience with one guy. You know, I know my gaming group is not necessarily prone to AP, and certainly as a solo game, but what's it matter? I'm playing on my own there. So really looking forward to this. Thank you very much to the guys at Glass Canon Studios and to Adam Mutcher for sending this through to me. Really looking forward to diving into it. Hoping to get a video out probably early June now, before I can get a review video out. We're a couple of weeks away from UK Games Expo, so that's going to monopolise a fair bit of time there. And of course, I have the swollen hand, infected arm, cat injury to get over as well. So thank you very much for joining me on this video. Hope you given you a good idea about the contents that you get here. Excited to play it and just see exactly what they've done with it over the last few years. My name's Mark. This is Not Board Gaming. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Check out our other videos. One final thought: if you can't find anyone else to play with, then there's nothing wrong with playing with yourselves.